Robert F. Kennedy Jr. went on Theo Von's podcast and was apparently talking about his addictions to alcohol and heroin.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me.
Right.
So addiction is a disease. You will never see me mocking Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for his addictions, because we don't do that here. But let's talk about how he uses his disease to scam people. This whole thing about not fearing a virus was a thing we saw back in 2020. People were presented with an easy way to protect themselves and others by wearing a mask. But people refused to do so. And they insulted people who did want to protect themselves and others by mocking them and saying, oh, you just live in fear. I'll say the same thing today that I said back then. Living in safety is not the same as living in fear. Masks and vaccines, these things were what allowed us to continue to live our lives. But I digress. Bobby here is dismissing concerns about measles and other preventable illnesses because he knows that his addictions could kill him. That's not how that works. It's true that alcohol and heroin addictions can be deadly, if not controlled, and treatment like rehab, ongoing AA and NA meetings, medications, all of these things can be helpful. That doesn't cancel out the need for prevention of measles and other viral illnesses, any of these things that vaccines can prevent. It's not like the presence of or treatment of alcohol or opioid use disorders means you won't get sick from these other infections. And you're going to tell me that's not what he meant, but he is presenting these as an either-or situation, which is not the case. Kennedy has stated that he doesn't believe in germ theory. He believes in the miasma theory of illness. We know that is demonstrably false, but I also don't think he actually believes the miasma theory. He's just using it to sell his crap, because he explains the miasma theory incorrectly. What he calls the miasma theory is actually the terrain theory, where he feels that his healthy body, a healthy terrain, is what determines whether or not he will get sick. It's the typical grifter thing of, well, if you get sick, it's because you didn't work hard enough to maintain your health. That's not how it works. It ignores the fact that plenty of people are healthy until they get a debilitating infection, or until an addiction develops, or until they get into a car accident, or whatever. The point I'm trying to make is that Kennedy is just telling his audience what he thinks they want to hear, because he doesn't actually care about people's health. He cares about lining his own pockets by selling his books or sending you to his organization, the Children's Health Defense, for their propaganda. The fact that Bobby has overcome alcohol and opioid use disorders and maintains sobriety is commendable. It's really the only commendable thing about him. He is still spreading anti-vax lies at every turn and has no new evidence to back up any of the decisions he makes or any of the claims he makes. All of his policies are driven by his own greed. He's all about the green. And that is deplorable.